In this second outcome, we move from concepts to the practical toolkit, the models businesses use to analyze their world and choose a direction. These are the frameworks you'll actually apply in your assignment, so let's bring them to life with some familiar names. Managers rarely have the luxury of certainty. They're making big decisions in complex, fast-moving markets, and guesswork is expensive. Strategic models are simply structured tools that organize information so those decisions are better informed. Some help analyze the situation, like SWOT, PESTLE, and Porter's 5 Forces, while others help choose a direction, like ANSOF and the Boston Matrix. The key thing to remember is that a model never makes the decision for you. It just makes your thinking clearer. Let's start with the most widely used tool of all, SWOT. It asks you to review the internal strengths and weaknesses inside a firm's control and the external opportunities and threats it can't control. It's quick, flexible, and usually the first thing managers reach for before choosing a strategy. If Burberry ran a SWOT, its heritage brand would be a clear strength, while its exposure to the ups and downs of the luxury market might sit firmly in the threats column. The real value comes not from listing points, but from connecting them. You match strengths to opportunities to spot your best options, use strengths to defend against threats, and make a plan to fix the weaknesses that matter most. Picture a retailer with a strong, trusted brand. That's a strength. Meeting rising online demand, an opportunity. Put the two together and you've got a clear case for an e-commerce growth strategy. Next comes PESTLE, a tool for scanning the wider world a business operates in. It works through political factors like tax and regulation, economic ones like interest rates and inflation, social factors like changing tastes and demographics, and technological change, such as automation and AI, and PESTLE then adds legal and environmental factors on top. For a car maker like Jaguar Land Rover, the shift toward electric vehicles touches almost every one of those letters at once. So how do you use it? PESTLE maps the big external forces a firm simply can't control, highlighting opportunities and threats before a strategy is set, and it feeds directly into the O and T of your SWOT. For example, high inflation on the economic side and net zero targets on the environmental side might together push a manufacturer to cut its energy use and rethink its packaging. Exactly the kind of pressure a business like Unilever has been responding to. Porter's 5 Forces zooms in on a single industry to judge how attractive and how profitable it really is. It weighs the rivalry between existing firms, the threat of new entrants, the threat of substitutes, and the bargaining power of both suppliers and buyers. Take the UK airline industry, where fierce rivalry, price comparison sites handing power to buyers, and the constant threat of new low-cost entrants all squeeze margins hard. The point of the model is to reveal an industry's profit potential. Where the forces are strong, intense rivalry, powerful buyers, profits tend to be thin, and the market is tough going. Where they're weak, there's more room to make money. Firms use this to decide whether to enter a market at all and how to position themselves. In UK groceries, for instance, ferocious rivalry and powerful, price-sensitive shoppers mean firms have no choice but to compete hard on price and efficiency. It's worth being clear on when to use which tool because they answer different questions. SWOT gives you a quick overall position check, looking inward and outward together. PESTLE focuses purely on the external macro environment, ideal for spotting opportunities and threats. And Porter's 5 Forces examines the competitive industry itself to judge how attractive or profitable a market is. In practice, smart managers use all three together rather than picking just one. Let's put the three to work on one business, a discount grocer weighing up expansion in the UK. A SWOT flags its low costs as a strength and its narrow range as a weakness, with value-seeking shoppers as the opportunity and rivals copying its model as the threat. Pestle shows the cost of living squeeze driving demand for value stores, while Five Forces confirms that intense rivalry and powerful buyers keep margins tight. Read together, the tools point clearly toward a strategy of rapid, low-cost store expansion, much the path Aldi has actually taken. Once you've analysed the situation, you have to choose a method, and the method should always reflect the objective. If the goal is growth, the Ansoff matrix helps you decide how. If it's managing a range of products, the Boston matrix is your guide. And if it's building a competitive edge, Porter's generic strategies come in. The right tool, in other words, depends entirely on what the business is actually trying to achieve. The Ansoff matrix lays out 4 routes to growth, ordered by how risky they are. Market penetration, selling more existing products to existing markets, is the safest. Product development means new products for your current customers. Market development takes existing products into new markets, and diversification, brand new products in brand new markets, carries the highest risk. When Apple moved from computers into phones and then watches, you can trace its journey right across that matrix. Let's see the 4 routes through a supermarket's eyes. Market penetration might mean loyalty cards, like Tesco's Club Card, to sell more to shoppers it already has. Product development could be launching a new plant-based own label range, while market development means opening stores abroad or selling online in new countries. And diversification, the boldest move, might be launching a mobile network or a banking service. Exactly the highest risk leap Tesco took with Tesco Bank. The Boston Matrix, sometimes called the BCG Matrix, helps a business manage a whole portfolio of products. A star has high growth and high market share, so you invest to keep it leading. A cash cow has low growth but high share, so you harvest its steady profits. A question mark has high growth but low share, so you decide whether to back it. And a dog, low on both, is one to consider dropping. For Disney, a new blockbuster franchise is the star, while its classic film library is the dependable cash cow. Porter argued there are a few fundamental ways to win. You can pursue cost leadership, being the lowest cost producer across a broad market. Differentiation, offering something genuinely unique to a broad market. Or a focus strategy, applying either low cost or differentiation to a narrow niche. Ryanair is the textbook cost leader, stripping out every possible expense to offer the cheapest fares in the sky. Look along the UK high street and you'll see each of these strategies in action. A discount grocer competes on rock-bottom prices for a broad market, that's cost leadership, while a premium chain like Waitrose competes on quality and brand, that's differentiation. A specialist artisan deli serves a narrow, quality-focused niche, a classic focus strategy. Porter's warning is that firms stuck in the middle, neither the cheapest nor genuinely distinctive, are the ones that tend to struggle. A strategy on paper achieves nothing until the different departments, the functional areas, actually deliver it. Each one, marketing, finance, operations, human resources and IT, has a part to play in turning strategic objectives into reality. The crucial point is that they have to pull in the same direction. A brilliant marketing push falls flat if operations can't fulfill the orders it generates. Let's give each function its due. Marketing understands and reaches customers, positioning and promoting the products. Finance provides the funds, controls costs and judges investments. And operations produces the goods or services, delivering quality and capacity. Human resources recruits, trains and motivates the people who make change happen, while IT runs the systems behind e-commerce, data and automation. Think of how heavily a business like ASOS leans on all 5 at once. Here's how that teamwork looks in practice. Say a retailer's strategy is to grow online sales by 20% within 2 years. Marketing runs the digital campaigns and sharpens the website. IT builds a secure, reliable platform. And operations sets up the warehousing and delivery to actually get orders out. Meanwhile, finance funds the investment and human resources hires and trains the extra staff. Only when all five move together does that 20% target become realistic. Sometimes the smart move isn't to grow, but to reorganize. And that's what rationalization means, making a business more efficient, usually by cutting costs. It might involve closing sites, trimming product lines, merging departments, or reducing staff, all aimed at stripping out waste and duplication. When a bank like Lloyd's closes little-used branches and steers customers toward online banking, that's rationalization in action. As with most strategies, there are two sides to this. On the plus side, rationalization lowers costs, sharpens the focus on the most profitable areas, and can genuinely improve competitiveness and survival. But the drawbacks are real too. Redundancies hit staff morale and reputation. You can lose valuable skills and capacity, and there's short-term disruption that may cost you customers. It's a tool to use carefully, not a quick fix. Let's pull this outcome together. We've seen that strategic models structure thinking, some analyzing the situation, and others helping choose a direction. SWOT, PESTLE, and Porter's five forces examine internal and external factors and industry attractiveness, while Ansoff guides growth. The Boston Matrix manages a product portfolio, and Porter's generic strategies build competitive advantage. And we saw that strategy only comes alive when the functional areas work together, and that rationalization can trim a business for efficiency at a human cost. So that's the strategist's toolkit, from the analytical models through to the methods for choosing a direction. If you want to deepen your understanding, the further reading is a great next step. Johnson and colleagues' Exploring Strategy and Richard Lynch's Strategic Management both cover these frameworks in real depth. Porter's own Harvard Business Review articles are well worth reading in his own words, and sites like Mind Tools and Tutor2U give you clear, worked examples of SWOT, PESTLE, and the five forces. Take a look on the Moodle and try sketching each model for a company you know. That's the quickest way to make them stick.